Whose glasses? These yours?
Thank you.
There's more you can do. How we doing?
Has obviously been a lot of talk about attacking issues this week. From your perspective, how is the best way to address it given today's limitations with the NFL and the practices?
Well, you know what? I'm going to put that on us coaching because obviously we haven't done a good job of stressing it. You know, the issue, you get time to tackle. We have pads on today, so individual, you need to work on it. I thought obviously I was wrong. I thought we made great strides during the offseason, after Bakari had his, the one day, the first game he had a bad, and then we actually played or tackled well the next couple games, and then, the first 2 games of the season, that's been an issue with us. So, from a coach's standpoint, I'll wear that because I got to put them through more situations where they're out there tackling an individual and to make sure that they're better at it.
But how can you actually, with the rules the way they are now, and the fact that you guys never tackle in practice, what can you do differently to, like this week?
Well, you can tackle without pads on. You can work on wrap tackling. There's dummies out there. You can do different things. Obviously, other teams aren't having this issue, so whatever they're doing. That it's got to creep into what we're trying to do. So, but we'll fix that problem. We'll work at it and continue to try to get better at it.
How do you try to contain a guy like Calvin Johnson?
Oh, he's a great football player. Anybody 6'5", 240, runs a 4.4. He's going to be hard to contain. I hope we can slow him down. Limit his plays and make sure we have body on him all the time and somebody around him, and to try to really just trying to slow him down if we can.
With the tackling, a couple of guys said a lot of times it's a mentality too. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, and I think sometimes it's just guys want to tackle. I think it's an array of different things. But from a coaching perspective, obviously I got to do a better job in getting these guys to tackle because we had way too many tackling issues the first 2 games.
You put it on yourself, but have you done anything different or less this year, or is it about the same as you've always done in terms of the stress and all that you put on?
Well, you know what? If we have an issue on defense, and obviously we had that's an issue that's something you address during practice. We actually have been working on it. We thought we did a nice job in the offseason after that first preseason game because we had some issues that we worked on it. We had pads on all the time, but it's creeped back up, and it's just something we've got to continue to try to get better at.
Is it odd? I mean, these guys have been tackling since they were little kids. Is it odd to see them lose tackling skills? Or is it something you have to keep on to stay sharp on?
Well, the first game, I think it could be a number of different things. You're talking about a great running back, trying to tackle him in space. We didn't do a very good job of that. And then last week was just way too many missed tackles, for different issues. I think, we got a stiff arm last week, and we went low one time. And I just think that there's the number one. Again, I'll put that on the coaches. We just got to, get work at it and try to get better at it.
Jim, with the way that things have gone through the first 2 games, is your confidence shaken at all in the ability of this defense to be a good defense, or do you still think the elements are there? You
know what? We went through this last year, and we struggled, and then we put it all together. It took us a little while. We got it all together, and I thought we played great down, the last 8 or 9 games last year. And the same thing, I thought we were awesome in preseason. So, again, I'm going to put that on myself. I'll take full responsibility for these 2 games because, obviously I run the defense. So whether it's getting your swagger back or working at practice, and we're going to work at the things we got to work at, and we're going to get better. The number one thing that bothers me is we haven't done a very good job in the run game. And if we can stop the run, and we've been pretty good at it over the first 3 years, and last year we were awesome. If you can stop the run and make a team one-dimensional, well, that's where you get your turnovers. That's where you get big plays. And we haven't done a very good job in the first 2 games stopping the run. So the point of emphasis, for our football team at practice yesterday and today is make sure that we do a great job in the run game.
Has Reggie Bush questionable, don't know if he'll be able to play. How did their offense change last week when they lost him, and how do you kind of, adjust to that depending on his status? Yeah,
obviously we'll adjust to it. We always prepare for, a guy like that to play because he's a great playmaker. It's a fantastic athlete. if he doesn't play, I'm really a fan of Bell and Lasor. I think those guys are awesome. I think they do a great job at the running back. They got a number of different running backs. So I don't think the game plan will change much from a run standpoint. I don't think it'll change much from the passing standpoint, but he probably won't go to that guy as much as they would Reggie.
I know we asked you about this in the preseason, but having moved upstairs, what are you seeing up there after a couple of games? How's that gone?
Some ugly football. We'll fix it. We'll get better. I'm going to go back. I love these guys. I love being around these players because they work hard and they know there's an issue and we're going to fix the thing. And the practice was awesome yesterday. And like I said, I'll take responsibility for those games. We got to get better. Coaches, players have to get better. We went out yesterday. I thought practice was great. We'll go out today. We're going to have a great practice today, and we'll continue to try to get better. I feel good about these guys. I mean, for what they did last year, the way we came back last year, and then what we did in the preseason, I know what this team can do. So we just got to put everything together and get your swagger back and get your confidence back on what you're doing.
Has to kind of zone in on the running. You say that's the most important thing, stopping the run. Before even some of the bad tackling in the secondary, what have you, there's been some huge holes. Is that like run fit stuff? Is it pre-snap alignment?
No, it's just you know what happens when you get down and guys are trying to make plays, and then somebody wants to make plays, so he jumps around a block, trying to make a play. Obviously he wants to do something for the football team where he gets out of his gap, and then the linebacker fits wrong and they get a 10, 15-yard run. That's what happened last week, but we'll correct that.
So do you feel like a lot of it will correct itself if you guys are just playing in a close game in the third quarter?
No, I think we'll correct it from practice. We'll work at it in practice. We're going to correct that. And then when we take it to the game, we're good. We know we can stop the run. We got the ability to stop the run, and we have done it. We just got to get back to what we do best.
Jim, when you look at the secondary, how much? You obviously have two young guys playing a lot. How much, when you look at do you look and say these are rookie mistakes, easily correctable? Is that a factor? I mean, there's a natural learning curve for these guys. I mean, what do you see there?
Well, a lot of that's what it was last week. We missed a check last week. They got a big play. Everybody had it but one guy. Young guy. So those things are correctable. That's looking back too early for a ball. That stuff's correctable. Missing tackles. That's something you got to work at. You got to work at those things. A blown coverage or something. If you get beat one-on-one, those things happen in this league. And you're talking about a great quarterback played last week who was throwing a lot of smokes and hitches and short game. We get 3 sacks in opening drive. They ain't dropping back anymore. They're throwing the ball out quick. You got to tackle. Get the ball out quick. You got to tackle. Then the run game opened up. So we kind of played into the hands. If we could got them in situations where it was third and long, obviously you get 3 sacks in the opening drive. Our guys thought they were on pace for 10 or 12, but it doesn't work that way because you got to adjust to what they're doing and you got to be able to tackle. We didn't do a very good job, and again, it's my fault.
Jim, you joked kind of through the preseason that you only saw 45 snaps from Merriweather last year, but you only got 25 from him the other day. What was your evaluation on the way he played?
Pretty good snaps when he was in there, and it cost him about $42,000. But they're pretty good snaps. I thought he moved around well. I thought he was into the game. Obviously, he throws his body around. He gives you a guy that's a weapon back there. And I was impressed with the short time he played. Hopefully, we get him back sometime and we can keep him for a stretch.
What did you see those two helmet-to-helmet hits? Did you think that they were legal hits? What was your take on that?
I don't evaluate that stuff. I let the league handle that, and obviously I'm always for the player, being an ex-player, but it's just how it is.
London only had a tackle and an assist. Were they doing something to take him out of it, or what do you think?
I'm going to say, just like everybody in this team's got to get better. Myself, London, the whole defense, and we will. We're going to work at it, all right? And London just follows he was like the rest of us. We all got to get better.
Kerrigan had sacks on consecutive plays before they started getting the ball out faster. He's got 3 sacks in 2 games. You just talk about some of his strides that he's making.
I think he's playing excellent football. I thought him and Rack both played even as bad as the game was last week. Those two, they played about as well as you're going to get from a pass rush standpoint and a run game. Those two guys have been outstanding. Again, there's areas they can improve in all of us, and they will. But I thought they did a nice job in those 2 areas.
Going back to being up in the booth, what benefits have you been able to see from encounter for being up there? And does it make for communication challenges with your players, or how do you overcome that?
That part is not as easy. Obviously, if they come off the field, you can talk to them, but I can see a little bit better. You can see what's going on. You can diagnose what they're doing. From that standpoint, it's a lot better. The communication part is always going to be an issue when you're that far away.
When a team does maybe with 3-step drop to counter the pass rush, what can you do from a pass rush perspective to kind of counter them, if you will?
Well, I think first of all, like I said, we need to do a better job in the run game so we can get them in those type of situations. And then if they throw those hitches or smokes or quick game, you got to do a great job tackling and get them in manageable situations on third down where you have a chance to win.
But the key would be just on first and second down, putting them
No doubt.
more than something.
No doubt. And we haven't done a very good job of that the first 2 games.
You're going to stay
Joe.
upstairs, or any thoughts about moving back down?
What's that, Joe?
You're going to stay upstairs, or any thoughts about moving back to the sideline?
I'll probably stay upstairs. I think there's advantages to both, but I'll probably stay up here for now. Okay, guys? Thanks.